Hello and welcome to my video today. I'm going to be covering a new Bluetooth TPMS or tire pressure monitoring system for the Fisker Ocean. I've done a few of these about a year and a half or 2 years ago, and this one is different in that it is entirely software based, does not have a monitor or screen, uses iOS or Android devices for keeping track of your tire pressure. So I'm going to be unboxing this and installing and showing you how it works. So let's get started. And here is the box for the Bluetooth TPMS system. This system is a bit different than the previous ones I've looked at, since it does not have a display or unit that is the monitoring device that I had mounted in the car. This one relies solely on software to provide the tire pressure, and I'm going to be installing that. It should work on any device that supports iOS and Android. So I'll show you how the apps work for this. And here is the box. This one happens to be for 4 wheels. And on the back here, we have a description, kind of a quick install info sheet here. And one thing I want to talk about is that the sensors are labeled 1, 2, 3, and 4. We have the number 1 sensor is front left, 2 is front right, 3 is rear left, and 4 is rear right. So let's open it up and check it out. On top, we have an instruction guide with a QR code to download the app. And then we have the instructions here and also a QR code for FAQ. In the box, we have the 4 sensors labeled 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we also have a little bag here with a tool and locking nuts. Give you a closer look at them. These are installed on the tire valve, and then the sensor is installed over it, and then you tighten this up so that this presses against the sensor, and that's the security mechanism for these sensors. They're optional. If you don't want to use them, you don't have to. So that's what these are, and this is the tool to tighten it or loosen it. Let's have a closer look at the sensor itself. As I mentioned, they have labels on them, very similar to most of the Bluetooth sensors that I've seen in other products that I've looked at. This part here is what goes over the tire valve stem. And this can be opened up, and inside is a CR2032 battery that Fisker Ocean owners should be well aware of. And this should last about a year. On my current set, I have it installed for 2 years and it's still working fine. So I'm hoping that longevity is also included in this unit as well. So I'll be testing that out over time. So that's basically it. The system is these 4 sensors and the tool and the nuts, and that's it. So I'm going to be installing these on the tires, and then I'm going to go in the car and show you how the software works. So let's go do that now. So I'm sitting at the rear right wheel, and here is the valve stem. I'm going to take the security nut right here and insert it over the threads, and then just turn it so it goes on like that. And now, since I'm on the rear right, I'm going to use the number 4 sensor, and I am going to screw that on. Make sure it is nice and tight. Then we can take the tool and turn it so that it goes against the back of the sensor. Let me kind of angle that so you can see it a little better. And then you just keep on turning it till it locks. and it won't move anymore. And then the sensor will not come off. Now I'm going to do this for the rest of the tires, the front right, the front left, and the rear left. So we can see number 4 is on the rear right. Number 2 is on the front right. Number 3 is on the rear left. And number 1 is on the front left. Using the QR code, you get a link for the iOS and Google Play options for downloading the app. So let's start the app. I downloaded 2 different versions of the TPMS app that's recommended in the user's manual. So I'm going to start the first one. Let me go into apps, and I'm going to scroll down to the end, and I'm going to press Cozy Life. I'm going to agree. I am going to sign up with email. Going to get a verification code. Going to type that in. Now I'm going to put in a password. I am going to confirm. I'm going to agree. I am going to save. And now I am going to log in. And the app needs permissions. Yes, I'm going to click on OK. I am going to give permission while using app. I am going to allow. Now going to add a device. Going to click on outdoor. Tire pressure detection. Click on that. And now I'm going to go through the binding process for the 4 sensors. Press on this. Now I have a figure of the car and the 4 tires. So now I'm going to bind device, auto bind. Going to bind device again. Bind device here, auto bind. And lastly, this one. And there we go. All right, so all the numbers in here are in metric. I am going to change it. Let's go to PSI. Let's go to temperature unit, Fahrenheit. Pressure warning, I'm going to keep it that. For the lower warning, I am going to go to the max, 37. So I don't see a save button on here. I assume that was what this is, but that doesn't seem to be accurate. All right, for some reason, I can't not figure out how the settings are not saving the imperial versus the metric. I'm gonna have to look into that and find out what the deal is. But for the time being, it's got everything in Celsius and kPa. All right, so that doesn't make any sense. Let's go into apps again. Let's go all the way over. And let's try TPMS Plus. Allow access, yes. Allow TPMS to find connect, allow. Location permission. Please bind the device. We're going to do 4 wheels. We're going to do auto bind. And I am going to press the left. All right, so it found the left one. Let's do the right one. Let's do the rear right. Good. Let's try the rear left. Good. All right, so it found it. All right, so let's go back in to the menu here. And now we have the information for each of the wheels. It is filling in here. Let's see if we can change some of the settings. Let's do parameter setup. I am going to use PSI and Fahrenheit. I am going to use the, pressure warning upper limit. We do not want that. I'm going to set that for like 55. And pressure warning lower limit, I am going to change that to 37. Temperature, I'm going to leave that. And the rear tires, I am going to do upper limit also 55. Actually, I'm going to change the 50 for that for the front. Rear is higher. Lower limit, also going to do probably the max 37. Going to go back out. All right, so let's go to home. And now we have, very good. We have the PSIs all set here. We have, it's a little bit small on the screen here. Sorry for the video. So let me do a little bit close up here so you can see it better. So the front left showing 42.2 PSI, 50 degrees Fahrenheit. And then for the front right, 42.9, 51.8. For the rear left, we got 46.3. And for the rear right, 46.2. So very cool that we have this listed here. And I got one of the apps to work. I am kind of disappointed the first app, I wasn't allowed to save the settings. So hopefully this one works better. And what I'm going to do is set this on the main screen. So let's go out to the main screen here. And let me change the app for this bottom window. TPMS Plus. That's a little hard to see. Let me go change. Let me change that to 40%, see if that works any better. Yeah, there we go. So we can see the TPMS here. Go into the menu here. Let's change it to 35. See what 35 does. Yeah, 35 seems to work pretty well. Trying to find what the minimum is before it shrinks it. 70/30. That also works. All right, so I got a nice display on the TPMS on the screen. So if I need to get to that, I can. So very cool. So that's a little bit fiddly with the app sizing here, but I'll see how it goes. And if I find any other tire pressure monitoring apps that work with these sensors, I'll do a follow-up video. But at least for now, I have the tire pressure working, and I do have an alarm here, and I get to see both the temperatures and the pressures for all 4 tires on the screen. So super handy to have. I am going to contact the company to see if the Cozy Life app has an update or some other way to fix those settings. So I'll let you know if I get anywhere with that. So that basically wraps it up. I unboxed, installed, and showed you how to do the software for this Bluetooth tire pressure monitoring system that does not have a dedicated monitor or unit. It uses the car screen or your phone screen to display. So pretty neat. If you want to have everything on the car center screen, that's one way to do it. And I'll be following up in future videos, letting you know how it works. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. I have the link in the video description for this product if you want to purchase it from Amazon. That's it for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.